Hello there guys, it's Martha Mew here, and we have our fourth deck profile, I believe. We have a guest deck here today, featuring Elliott's deck of Solgaleo GX and Lugia EX. We've even been graced with the fact that Elliott's actually going to describe his own deck rather than letting me butcher it. So I hand you over into the capable hands of Elliott.
Hello, I'm Elliott, the person with the deck. Right, let's just jump in there. Right, for the Pokemon, first up, 2 Talonflame. You only use it more or less for the attack and the ability, otherwise it's pretty much just useless. The Gale Wing attack, well, Gale Wing ability lets you just use it as your starting Pokemon. Its attack does 40, it costs 1 of any energy, Aeroblitz. You basically deal 40 and you search your deck for any 2 cards. So pretty much you get the, if you don't have Cosmog in your hand or bench, you can get that and a rare candy to get into the Solgaleo. Next up, for Cosmog, pretty standard, just 1 energy to draw 1. 2 Cosmoem, just in case you can't, fully evolve. And this deck is more rare candy orientated than anything else, so you don't really need to rely on evolving that much. 3 Solgaleo. The reason I run 3 is because it's kind of like heavy anyway, and there's so much search power in this deck anyway, so you go through this deck like really quickly, I've noticed, and it's mostly because of his Soul Burst GX, but it's mostly because of all the cards that are able to search. Right. Solgaleo's ability, Ultra Road. Its Ultra Road ability, once per turn you can switch out a bench Pokemon with your active Pokemon, which is really useful considering the Retreat Cost is free. Well, not free, but free energy of any kind, and the Retreat Cost in this deck are kinda high. Like Cosmoem's is free and Lugia's is 2, and this is free. So it's really not really good. Right, Sunsteel Strike, it deals 230 damage. You need 2 Steel Energy and a Colorless Energy. You discard all energy from this Pokemon to do that. But the main reason to set this up is Soul Burst GX. You use 1 Steel Energy, and you can attach 5 of any energy cards. It can be double colors and colors, so you can potentially say if you have 1 of that to do the attack, you can put 2 there and then 3 of any energy on 2, and if it anything. The reason you want to do Soul Burst GX is to set up the Rayquaza, or not that, set up the Lugia. Next we run 2 Lugia, as again, search power, so, and plus it's a basic, so you can just get it with a Nest Ball or an Ultra Ball. Anyway, it's Aero Ball, 2 energy. It does 20 times the amount of energy you have on it. Say you have 4 double colors energy because you use Sunsteel Strike to get that in there. It's gonna do a lot. And then with 4 colors energy, it does 80 plus damage. What you do here, if there's a stadium out, or like say your own stadium or your opponent's stadium, which you really don't want there, you can use Deep Hurricane to do a total of 150 because it does 70 plus 80, and then you can discard that stadium. So it's really good to get rid of like a forest of giant plants.
And the energy cost might seem great, but remember you've sort of buffed that up with the Soul Burst anyway, so you're going to have a lot of energy on it for Aero Ball, so it really doesn't matter about the higher cost of Deep Hurricane.
Until Aspeon comes out. Anyway, 2 Rayquaza. The reason I run Rayquaza is the first attack, 2 double colorless energy. It does 30, and you can attach 2 energy cards from the discard pile to your benched Pokemon. So pretty much, the turn is, you use the Sunsteel Strike, do 250. Next turn, use Ultra Road to swap it out with the Rayquaza. Then you get you attach 1 energy to Solgaleo, and then use Turbo Storm, attach 2, and next turn
Ultra Road.
Ultra Road, Sunsteel Strike. So you can pretty much keep swapping in if you don't have the Lugia, so you can keep potentially knocking out, because most Pokemon in this game...
250 HP to get through on Solgaleo is a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So you got nothing really to worry about, and plus most Pokemon don't have 250 HP, so it's more or less near enough a guarantee knockout. One Lily, pretty standard. If you have a low hand, which you potentially can in this deck, because you just go through so many cards in your hand and your deck, you can draw 6 cards. If it's your first turn, you draw 8. Pretty standard.
Up to 8.
Oh, up to 8, yeah. Lysander, pretty standard. You choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon, switch it for one they're benched. So you could potentially get something they want to set up and then just kill it instantly with Solgaleo. 2 Kukui. The reason I use this is to draw more cards and obviously use more attack power. So basically, say they have a Solgaleo or the Lunala, you could just use Solgaleo, use the Kukui, so we do 250, it knocks out that, problem solved. 2 Howler. Reason I run Howler, obviously the GX attack is pretty much going to be used the first time you get into Solgaleo, hands down. So you're basically going to be able to use Howler like within a couple turns if you get Solgaleo and you've used the GX. 1 Sycamore. The reason I run Sycamore opposed to N is because you knock out a bunch of Pokemon in this deck, so using N is kind of redundant, and plus with Rayquaza you can discard energy, so with this card obviously, so you can discard a bunch of energy and use the Turbo Storm to power up Lugia or Solgaleo. Skylar, pretty typical. You can search anything.
Any trainer.
Well, any trainer. Pretty much anything you really need to get pretty much anything in this deck, more or less. Right, now for the stadiums. 2 Palo City, because I don't like my opponent having stuff. Pretty much what it does, if the blue side is facing your opponent or you, the person the blue side's facing cannot use more than 3 benched Pokemon, and if they have more at the time, they have to discard them, you don't take prizes. If the red side is facing you or your opponent, their fire, water and grass Pokemons deal 20 less, before applying the weaknesses. But because I don't use, and you won't use any fire, grass or water Pokemon in this deck, or their attacks, the red side is pretty much null and void to you. There's nothing. Then, 1 Alter the Sun. Pretty much you only use this against fire Pokemon, so your Solgaleo doesn't get knocked out as easily, because if you've lost the Solgaleo and you do not have Lugia out, you are pretty much dead. Then I run 4 rare candies, because you need to get the Solgaleo out first, so you can use the Sonic Strike to set everything up. 2 Nest Ball to get Rayquaza, Cosmog, or Lugia out. Yeah, I forgot his name for a second. So this can potentially set up a field. Say you got Solgaleo and you want to do the Rayquaza combo, or just Lugia and Solgaleo. Ultra Ball pretty much searches any Pokemon you want, and it discards 2, so recommendation is you get the Pokemon you want obviously, but you more or less want to discard the energy, so you can get it back with Turbo Storm, because Solgaleo discards 3, and if you potentially have 4 more you can use Turbo Storm more than once. And the 11th ball is to get the Cosmome or Cosmog to your hand, so you can evolve to Solgaleo, right? 2 standard letter to search 2 basic energies to get the Solgaleo set up, and for anything. 2 energy retrieval, because you're going to be discarding energy in this deck, and you may or may not have any more in your deck. You kind of want to get them back.
And if you're discarding them and haven't got a Rayquaza.
Exactly.
Out.
Yeah. Town Map, I like it. It's you know what you're going to get, because you knock out quite a bit with this deck, and if you want to do that, you kind of want to know what you're actually going to get. So I field's must have in this
It's a
deck.
really cool gimmick. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at the top, like basically look at your freaking 6 prize cards. Oh, I'm going to have that and that. Right, Enhanced Hammer, basically just to discard any special energies, because there are a lot more Pokemon that are reliant on special energies these days, so this is just a good counter.
Use that against you sometimes.
And vice versa. Yeah. Power Pad, you're going to do a bunch of searching with this deck, so it's pretty useful to have supporters back into the deck and, you know, not deck out. Super Rod is the final item. It's basically box standards. You want to, if you don't have any like Rayquazas or Lugias or Cosmogs in the deck and they're in the discard pile, you can just send them back to the deck. Or if you want to need to search more energy but don't have the requirements, you can just send them back to the deck. And obviously, so you don't deck out. And the box standard 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 steel energy, because that's all you're going to need. Rayquaza and Lugia are colourless. And 4 double colourless energy to pretty much with a Sunseal Strike. 1 to Rayquaza, 3 to Lugia EX. So there you have it. That's the Solgaleo deck for you.
Thank you very much, Elliot.
You're welcome.
It's a very, very strong deck. If you don't believe me, you can check out the video where this deck is used against my Eevee deck, which the profile shall be coming soon. It's had a few changes since Burning Shadow's been out. Thank you very much, you guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.